So I'm Peter Thomas, I'm Director of Strategy and Growth at the Conversational Design Institute, CDI, here in Amsterdam. And I'm here with CDI's CEO, Hans van Dam, to talk a bit more about conversational capital, which is a thing you're going to be hearing a lot more about from us this year. So today we're going to talk about what happens when things go wrong, because they will, and we call it honest recovery. So Hans, customers don't expect AI to be perfect. So what do they expect when something goes wrong?
They expect honesty, like know your limitations, be honest about it, be graceful when stuff fails. Most people aren't perfect, and people that present themselves as being perfect, we get nervous around because we know we're humans, there's flaws. So people respect systems that are honest about their limitations, and it's a very important thing. So don't present it as this thing can do everything and then make up answers on the fly when they're not sure. It's okay to say, I don't know,
Yeah, so, I mean, you've talked about apologies that work and apologies that don't. And I guess, you've observed, as many people have, that most organizations either over-apologize to the point where it feels fake, or they don't apologize at all and it's hostile. So what's a good apology?
It depends on the context, but you don't want to, if it's a small little thing, you don't want to over apologize because it feels fake and silly. Or at the same time, if it's a very important use case, somebody needs to pay rent and now they can't because you have a banking error, it's not a small thing. So, it's contextual, and that's a very important thing in apology. So if you have a human-centered design process, you'll find the answers for all of those questions naturally, as long as you're intentful on how you want to create these systems.
Yeah, so something counterintuitive in that, the idea that admitting kind of uncertainty increases trust. And that, I guess, goes against decades of, things that we've been taught that, you have to project confidence at all times. So why does honesty win?
I mean, it makes it real. Nothing is perfect. If you even think about, the people that you care about most, they're flawed. If you watch movies, for example, like the main character, if everything's perfect, you don't care about them. Every main character in a story has a little bit of a flaw, and it makes them human, and that makes it something that we can relate to. Nobody can relate to perfection. We simply don't trust it. So being very powerful in owning your limitations creates trust. Yeah. And you don't have to now over-apologize and overdo it, but just be sensible about it. I guess that's and at the end of the day, it's always how, put yourself in the shoes of the customer interacting with this system. And then, these things become pretty obvious once again.
All right, great. Thank you, Hans. So I guess honest recovery is one of those small things that pays back dividends. If any of this resonates for you, keep an eye out for more on Conversational Capital. You can read Hans over on Substack, his Power for the Poet Substack, and look out for an opportunity to get on the invite list for the Conversational Capital Summit in Barcelona in April 2027. But for the moment, Hans, thank you very much.